Hey guys, welcome to day one of March into Money. For today's video, I'm going to be sharing about being debt-free. I'm so excited to share about this. But before I get started, I do want to give you guys a little bit of a life update because a lot has happened since my last video. So I spent the last week in South Miami. My parents were in town, so that was amazing. Got to show them around South Miami, and I really love South Miami. I definitely would like to go back there. So that was awesome. I had a really great time the end of February. For March, this entire month of March has been insane. I know we're only a few days in, but it's been so crazy. So I was supposed to be in Miami this month. I had booked a place through Airbnb, but I actually got scammed through Airbnb, and I have been dealing with my credit card company and with Airbnb to get my money back. And honestly, Airbnb has just been a complete nightmare. They've been the worst company I've ever had to deal with when it comes to customer service. And as a business owner, that's something that I'm very conscious of, like how companies treat their clients and their customers. And I have just not been happy with Airbnb at all. They've just not been considerate of everything that I've had to go through in terms of finding a place at the last minute and not ensuring that I was in a place that was safe. It's just honestly been such a nightmare to deal with them. So I have just been like dealing with them and my credit card company, and like I said, I haven't gotten my money back yet, and so that's been really frustrating, and it definitely caused me to think a lot about Airbnb, and I refuse to use that company from this point forward. So I had to scramble to find a place at the last minute, and I am luckily here at my friend Karina's place. So she has been really generous and kind enough to open up her place to me, and I have the opportunity to stay here for a couple months. So I am still in Florida, in South Florida. And it's been really nice to be with friends, so that's been great, even though I'm not where I plan to be. I'm not in Miami, and I do have some intentions to do a lot of traveling this summer, so we'll definitely see how everything unfolds. This month has just been all about releasing expectations because, you know, I just thought I would be in Miami. I thought I'd be making a lot more YouTube videos, but with all the stress of everything that happened with getting scammed and dealing with Airbnb, it's like everything has just changed a lot, and I'm allowing that. I also got contacted by someone through Instagram, and I've been interviewing to be cast on a reality competition show. So I'll definitely let you guys know what happens with that. So I had a couple interviews and discussions with the casting people for that. So that's been very exciting, and that's something that's in the works. There's definitely been a bunch of other things that have happened. I definitely got a sty in my eye, so that's been like annoying. And yeah, sorry, I'm forgetting what the other thing is, but maybe I can update you in the next video. But let's talk about the really good news. I am officially debt-free. So I definitely want to talk about like my whole debt story. So up until the time I was in my 30s, I never like had an issue with debt. I always was super like abundant when it came to money. I was always super savvy when it came to money. I was really good at saving money, but also good at spending money on things that felt good to me. Like I just really had a pretty good money mindset. There's certain things that I didn't learn and uncover until I went through this debt journey, but I had a pretty good relationship with money. So when I started to become a business owner, and I basically had no idea what I was doing when I went into business, even though I have an MBA, they don't really like teach you on how to deal with like the mindset stuff and how to like really go about like being an entrepreneur, especially like a self-employed service-based business. You know, like an MBA is more for like running a corporation. So I definitely went into things kind of blind, and I had quit my job. I had tons of savings and was just planning on living off my savings until I was able to generate enough money with my business. Now, I made some silly mistakes along the way. So basically what happened, I got to a point with my business and with my funds where I was running out of money, and my business wasn't taking in enough money to replenish the amount that I was spending that I needed to spend for my very normal lifestyle. And so I did start to use my credit card, and I was using my credit card in really, I feel like, beneficial ways. So I was spending it on like courses for money mindset and business, also on travel and living expenses, so things that I felt were really important. But I did make one mistake along the way, which is that I was in a relationship with someone who I was in business with, and that person did not have a credit card, and so I was expensing things on my credit card for the both of us. And that's something that I just would never do again. So I definitely learned a lot about myself from that experience, and I discovered that that was part of my codependency and attachment and love addiction, and something that I have really worked on a lot over the past couple of years since then, because I definitely don't ever want to make that mistake again. So I feel like only half of the debt really was mine, and that's something that I really had to deal with, because it kind of felt like I was being punished for twice the crime in a way. Like, I was totally okay with owning up to my expenses and the choices that I made that I felt really good about, but I didn't feel good about like having twice as much debt basically for someone that I just felt wasn't grateful for, and I wasn't grateful for me supporting them in the way that I did, and someone that didn't pay me back, right, for the amount that was owed. And so I had to do the work of paying for both of us back. And that was something that I really had to deal with, like, that I had to take responsibility for the choices that I made. And oh, my voice is like cracking. So I had to take responsibility for the choices that I made and own up to the fact that I did that and the mistakes, and forgive myself so that I could smoothly move into the future. So I just want to give you kind of like a breakdown of like the numbers and stuff. So basically my like January, February, something like that, credit card statement in 2018, so almost exactly 2 years ago, the credit card, that's when I discovered that the amount that I owed on my credit card, the total was like 10,600 something, and the minimum payment was like 5,000. I was like, what? So like the numbers hadn't been that high for the minimum payments until then, and that was the point at which I was like, okay, there's no way I can pay this, like this is crazy, I have to stop this. And so I had to call the credit card company and work out an arrangement with them. So basically they like canceled my credit card, and we worked out an arrangement so that I was paying back amounts that were much lower and at a lower interest, but you know, it would affect my credit. And that was something that was pretty crazy for me, because I had amazing credit before then. And like I said, I was just really savvy with money. Like every single time a credit card, any type of payment was made on a credit card, I paid it back like literally that day. So I was like really, really, really good about like money and credit and everything before then. But like I said, as a business owner, just kind of like with not as much income coming in, I had to learn to accept where I was at on my journey and everything that was happening. So, okay, at that point, I was like, okay, like it was really stressful and chaotic, but I felt it was manageable. I was able to deal with everything and kind of like, okay, close in on what was happening with the credit card. And then about a year later, when I was filing my taxes, that's when I discovered that I then owed about $2,700 on my taxes. So in total, I was about $13,400 in debt. So if we look at like, you know, from the time of like 2018 essentially. So because that was like my 2018 taxes, I believe. Yeah, because it was in 2019 and I was paying for 2018. So yeah, it was like the past 2 years have been really crazy because I haven't had a credit card. You know, it's been crazy because I've had a credit card since I was probably like 18 or something. Whenever is like the earliest time you can get a credit card, that's when I had one. So I have gone the past 2 years without a credit card, so it's not like I've been able to rent cars or anything, and I haven't had a car. And so that's been something I've had to learn to deal with. I had to learn to be okay with having debt, and that was something that was like very new for me, and it was like something that really I really like had to face my identity, because my identity was so wrapped up in being so like financially savvy and like being so good with money. And so I had to like accept myself and love myself and forgive myself. So it's like the Ho'oponopono, or however you pronounce that prayer. I was just doing that a lot, and really forgiving my former partner for like what happened with them, and still like I was dealing with my former partner a lot throughout the past couple of years, like doing my best to get the money back that I was owed, and I was able to get a little bit back, but not nearly as much as the half that it should have been. So yeah, that's basically like what my journey was when it came to debt. And now I want to talk about like paying it off. Like finally submitting that last payment felt so amazing. Like I feel free again. I feel like it just felt one thing. Yeah, I accepted the debt, but I don't want to be in credit card debt ever again. Like hopefully I will not be. Hopefully I just like really learned my lessons and everything that I needed to learn the first time, so I won't have to repeat that experience. And I do feel like debt is not a bad thing. Like I've learned so much from Amanda Francis, who I've talked about before, and I have links to all of her stuff, or not all of her, yeah, kind of the stuff that I've learned from her, the courses I've taken from her, in the video descriptions of my videos, because literally like everything I've learned about money, I've pretty much learned from her. And I definitely want to credit her for helping me with being okay with debt. Like debt is a choice, as she says, like debt is a choice to pay things back over time. But for me, I just really energetically didn't feel good about it, because it felt like I was so focused on the past, and like all of my money, and like so much my money that I was earning over the past couple of years was going towards my past, like past mistakes or past choices that I made. And I just am so excited about like looking to the future now. Like I can now, all of my payments are going to go towards things like for the future. Like I can go on this travel adventure that I intend to go on for the summer, that I'm so excited about, and I will share more about that with you guys as the time gets closer. But yeah, it just feels like so free. I'm free to make choices. I'm free to like use my money in ways that I feel really excited about. And yeah, so I definitely wanted to share all about this. I'd love to know your comments and questions in the comments section down below. I'm sure that you guys have a lot of questions about like credit card debt and stuff. So I would love to know what your questions are about like my journey, because I'll definitely answer those. So I hope this video has been helpful. I'd love to know your comments and questions down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. I love you guys, and I will see you soon. Bye.